Welcome back to Timmy Talks Finance. Let's talk MSTR. So looking at MSTR, okay, we haven't moved until just recently, and let's talk about why. So just look at the chart. We've had massive moves followed by long periods of consolidation. We had it from here in January up until March, and we chop, and then we had another big move. And what's this? It looks like a downtrend, but it's really just a bull flag, but it's also a chop and consolidation. We had a W bottom and a breakout. So bullish technically on the charts. It's pretty clear what's going on in the chart, but what's not clear is what gives MicroStrategy value. So it's not a bubble. It's not dumb retail money chasing, not looking at the NAV. Okay, there's much more to the story, and I can't explain it in this short video, but there's tons of detailed hour-long videos on how some of the inner workings of MSTR, what they do with the convertible debt. But I will say one thing at least, okay? A high premium to NAV, where there's a premium on the stock. So let's say the company's worth $200 and their Bitcoin value is only worth $100, is not it's not as bad as it sounds. Okay, because what is MicroStrategy able to do? First, they're able to borrow money with convertible debt, low interest rates. They can hold the Bitcoin without a fee, unlike the ETFs. So just at a quick glance, those things add some kind of value above just holding spot. Because with those things, they can lever up and end up acquiring more Bitcoin over time. So instead of just buying one Bitcoin and paying a small fee every year in an ETF, you're able to buy MSTR. And even if you're paying for Bitcoin at 2x the price, over time, you will have more Bitcoin than when you started buying MSTR. And I understand that there's a lot of room to make up for it. If you pay 2x the price of Bitcoin, you only get half as much. But think about the earnings of the company. So traditionally a company, for example, let's say a company has a 5% dividend. Why would you spend $100 to get 5% of your money back per year? Well, eventually it pays off. And in MicroStrategy's case, their dividend, they're not issuing a dividend, but they're increasing Bitcoin per share. So you're earning more Bitcoin over the long term. And actually, the higher the NAV, the higher the premium, the more Bitcoin per share they can make. So, okay, yes, buying it at a 4x multiple, for example, is twice as expensive as a 2x and 4 times as expensive as a 1-to-1. But with a 4x multiple, they can increase more. They could add more Bitcoin to their balance sheet and increase the Bitcoin per share than at a lower multiple. So just quickly to summarize what they can do by selling into the market. Okay, now as a shareholder, you own a percentage of the company. Okay, so yes, there's dilution. Just ignore that for a second and think about you are a shareholder in this company. Okay, you own the company. You own part of the company. What is this company able to do? Let's say they have $100 of Bitcoin and they have a 3 times NAV. That means their stock is worth 3 times the value of their Bitcoin. Well, that company can sell its stock sell shares, and then use that money to buy Bitcoin. So they can sell, basically what they can do is they can basically sell their Bitcoin by selling shares at 3 times the market price of Bitcoin. And then they could take that money and then buy more Bitcoin. Okay. So imagine if you were able to sell your Bitcoin for 3 times the value of it, and then just take the dollars and buy more Bitcoin. That's essentially what they're able to do. And there is a limit to how much the market can absorb of this selling of the stock. And MicroStrategy is trying to maneuver in that space. They can't overdo it, but at the same time they want to maximize how much they can do it. Because the more they sell into the market, the more shares they sell, the more it pushes down the NAV and the premium. And the more they push down the premium, the less money they get for selling their shares, and the less money they can have to buy more Bitcoin, and the less the selling is able to allow them to acquire more Bitcoin per share. So yes, the pie is getting bigger when they dilute, and you get, and over time you own a smaller percentage of the company, but you will own more Bitcoin despite having a smaller percentage of the company, because the Bitcoin that they have will grow more than the percentage of the Bitcoin that you're losing. So the higher the NAV, the more earnings per share. And there's only so much the market can absorb. So what's the fair value to buy it at? It's hard to say. Obviously, buying it at 1-to-1 would be an immense steal, and buying it at 2 or 3 or 4 as you go up, it's more risky. But at the same time, you don't know what the fair NAV should be. So if that may sound kind of crazy to you, it sounds crazy to most people, but really take the time to think about it. MicroStrategy has an ability to increase Bitcoin per share, and because of that, they can be priced at a premium. So don't just look at the premium, say, oh, it's 3x, 4x, 5x, 6x, it's crazy, it's a bubble, it's insane, it's unbelievable, people don't even understand NAV. That's not the case. The reason why there's a premium is because they have Bitcoin earnings. So take MicroStrategy seriously. It's a serious company, and we're in this bull move, and premium came down. I don't know where the premium's going to go up to, but do not be surprised if you see a 4 times premium, 5 times premium, 6 times premium. I don't think it's going to get to 10 times premium, but just don't be surprised when you see it, and be prepared for it. Don't say, oh, it's at 3 times premium, I better short it and buy Bitcoin, and try to do some kind of strategy like that where you're short MicroStrategy but you're long Bitcoin. The people who do that just don't understand why MicroStrategy trades at a premium and why it can get to a much higher premium than 3 or 4. No one knows how high this premium can go, but it can get pretty high, and it could stay sustainably high for a long time, if not forever. So don't sleep on MicroStrategy. This is going to be a bullish company. When the premium gets low, this is the time to pick this company up, because that means you're buying the ability to have Bitcoin earnings at a cheaper price. And MicroStrategy is the first mover. They're going to be around, and Michael Saylor is been a CEO for the company for, I don't know, I think it might have been more than 30 years. I know he was around in the dot-com bubble, but he's experienced and he knows what he's doing. So it's not a bubble, it's not going to pop, you know. So it's a good buy.